And so today, we want to consider physical and chemical changes. You see, matter undergoes changes, and these changes can be classified into two. One, physical change, and two, chemical change. Let's take the first one, physical changes. What are physical changes? These are those changes that are easily reversible. Once they happen, they can be reversed and no new substance is formed. It doesn't look different. When the changes occur, it doesn't look so much different from what you originally have. So that is physical change. Example of physical change is dissolution of common salt in water. Taking your common salt and adding it to water, the salt dissolves actually, but no new substance is formed. You still have your water and all that, and you can easily reverse that process just by evaporation. Take that mixture you've gotten, that water and the salt you dissolved inside of it, and then evaporate it. You get your salt back. So you see the process can be reversed. Again, it's change of state of matter, melting of, e.g. melting of solid to liquid, condensation of gas to liquid, and all that. Those processes can easily be reversed. For instance, your ice block for instance, melts to water. You can freeze it back by putting it back into a refrigerator, and it solidifies back to ice. And so those processes are reversible, easily reversible. Again, it's magnetization and demagnetization of iron rod. You can make an iron rod to begin to magnetize, and you can make it lose its magnetization. All of these are physical changes. Another good example of physical change is separation of mixture. All processes of separation of mixtures are all physical changes, either evaporation, distillation, sublimation, crystallization, etc. are all physical changes, and you can bring back the component back to get the substance you have. So one thing about physical change that it is easily reversible, and you don't get new substances. Chemical change, these are those changes which are not easily reversible. Chemical changes are either not reversible at all or difficultly reversible, and new substances are always formed. For instance, all burning process. When you burn your paper, for instance, you get a new substance entirely, which is the ashes, or you burn your wood, you get the ashes. So that is example of chemical change. Another good example is the addition of water to quick lime. You cannot get your water back. Again, the addition of metals in acid. If you dissolve a metal in acid, you can't get the metal back actually. The metal goes into the acid. Again, it's corrosion of metals. And lastly, fermentation and decomposition of organic matters. Differences between physical and chemical change. You see, one is that physical change can be easily reversed, but chemical change is not easily reversed. No new substance is formed during physical changes, but new substances are formed for chemical change. Now, there's no change in the mass of substances during physical change, but for chemical change, there are changes in mass of substances, because most likely, maybe gases are being evolved and all that, because chemical reaction really occurs. 4, it involves small amount of heat, except during change of state. But for chemical change, considerable amount of heat is usually involved.